Okay, hello. Welcome to Rest Club. I've decided to go live both on the Zoom and on Instagram. And the Zoom will be what is emailed out to everyone in Rest Club, but also save it here on Instagram for anyone who wants to utilize it that way. So, a brief introduction to me and what Rest Club is. I am a yoga teacher, and to me, that means studying yoga tradition and teaching those practices. And they blend really beautifully with what we know about nervous system regulation, functional movement, biomechanics, what have you. So, in Rest Club in particular, we're utilizing breath techniques, yoga nidra, and really wise rest. Hi, Caitlin. In order to soothe and regulate our nervous systems. However, depending on your life, your environment, not all nervous systems are one and the same. So you may not have the desired response to these practices, and nothing is wrong with you if that's the case. It's just information for you to have to educate yourself on, okay, if that's not working, what is working? And tend to yourself in that way. So, above all else, attending to your needs and what arises for you is what is the most important thing. If we're after rest, that's what we want, right? We don't just want to do something because we're supposed to do it, right? Okay. So I'm gonna make a little comment that this is Rest Club. And we're going to start just in a seated position. And so a little bit of information about me and my environment is that I do live on a busy street, so you might hear some street noise. I live with a cat, so you might see him popping in and out of the screen. But yeah, so it's just a casual seated position to start. And as we're moving into spring and the energy's rising and winds picking up, we're going to do a little bit of balancing for that. And if you're familiar with the elements, we'll be using touch in order to soothe and regulate and balance the air element. So, first, just kind of scanning your environment, what's in your space, in your room. What can you see and take in through your sight? And as you begin to take in the sights of your room, knowing that you're as safe as you can be in your own space. If you want to, you can close down your eyes if that feels safe and comfortable for you, or alternatively, just soften your gaze and no longer look around, but fix your gaze on one point. And let the eyes get soft and a little bit heavy. And begin to become more aware of what's happening on your internal. So just as we did with the scanning of the room, now kind of scan through your body. Taking just as much care, or even more care, to scan through and become familiar with the sensations and feelings in your own body right now. And how would you describe them? And then end your body scan at your hands. So wherever pathway you're going to take to get to the feeling of your hands will end up at the hands. Noticing any sensation at the palms and the fingertips. And what temperature are your hands? What temperature are your hands? And now, what temperature or sensations are at your neck? Can you kind of hold dual attention at the hands and the neck and feel sensitively at both? And then we'll meet the two together, taking your hands to your neck and, oh, okay, which one's warmer? What one had the temperature reaction? And then just begin to gently massage at the base of the skull and the neck. Oftentimes it can be abrupt to just be living our lives in our day and then, okay, we're gonna deep breath. Ooh, that was maybe a little bit abrasive, but that's what we're asking, is that kind of we're in motion and stop. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna warm ourselves up to the idea of rest, and in so warming up our tissues to, oh, where are we holding tension? And you can begin to kind of walk down the neck and get on to the upper parts of the shoulder. Give them a squeeze. Notice the temperature. Notice the skin or the fabric that you're touching. Really just give yourself permission to give yourself a little massage here, okay? And if both hands at a time are too much, you can do one at a time. And let one hand rest in between rounds. So there are all kinds of tools that you can use for soft tissue work, but what's better than what you have with you all the time, your hands? Simultaneously softening the tissues that you're massaging and relaxing them, as well as strengthening the hands. And so we'll just keep going on our little way onto the shoulders. And kind of letting whatever is happening elsewhere in your body relax as well. But for now, mostly just self-massage at the shoulders and the neck. And using your sense of touch. I've taken my hands down my arms. You can do that as well. But if you found a place that you want to stay and keep working on gently, you may do that. Okay, a few more moments of self-massage at the neck and shoulders. Noticing if there's a difference between sides in terms of tightness, texture, tension, or sensation. And then just take your palms and let them rest on your legs. If you're in crisscross applesauce or kneeling or whatever position, just let your palms rest face up on your legs and feel the sensation in the hands and at the neck again. And again, eyes can be soft or even closed if that's comfortable. Notice the difference in sensation that just a few moments of tender care does. Or just even a few moments can change that much. The sensation in the palms and the fingers and the sensation at the neck and the shoulder. And while you're here feeling sensitively at the palms and the neck, begin to notice how you're breathing and just where it's located, not changing it, just noticing how you're arriving in terms of breath. Your breath's location, breath's texture. How would you describe the depth of your breath in this moment? And before doing anything else with your breath, see if you can simply smooth it out. So if it's kind of rigid or hoppy or jumping over anything, see if you can make it as smooth as possible. And this will be the theme throughout class. So if it doesn't really make sense right now, that's okay. Just that's the intention, is a smooth breath. And while we're seated, before we go into a lying down position, in addition to having a smooth breath, go ahead and begin to really exaggerate the breath. And we'll work towards a more controlled breath in a moment, but just for a few moments and seated, take in as much air as you can, and then let out as much air as you can. And take in as much air as you can, and let out as much air as you can. And notice where the breath arises. Notice where the position of the breath, when you breathe in really deep, what is that like for you right now? And you push all the air out completely. And if it's possible for you right now to do that. And where does the breath go and how does it fill? Okay, 2 or 3 more big full breaths in. And complete breaths out. Okay, and let that effort settle and soften once more to more of a regular, relaxed breathing. And we'll transition from this seated position into lying. If you have something like a pillow or a rolled up blanket or even a foam roller, I'd recommend grabbing that and positioning it underneath your knees and covering up with a blanket. Even putting on socks or a sweater can be really supportive. I will demonstrate the position and then I'll come back to seated, but you'll remain in line so long as that's comfortable for you. So we want a spine. It's looking funny on the Instagram. Okay, let's see if we can get a wider shot. Basically, you're coming into a lying position where the feet are planted and there's a bend in the knee, and you're lying out long so that your spine is organized. And if you don't have any props, widen your feet a lot and then let your knees rest in on one another. If you do have a pillow or a rolled up blanket or a foam roller, you'll slide that underneath your knees. And then again, you'll recline back onto your back, and your hands can be wherever it is comfortable. But again, I'm going to return to seated as you're lying. Okay, so you're lying with your spine long and neutral. Maybe you give yourselves a couple of wiggles in order to get settled. And then position your head so that the lowest point possible of your skull is grounded and your chin comes towards the center of the throat, and you feel this reaching through the top or the crown of your head. So we're not chin forward, but rather an elongated neck. Ideally feet grounded, but if you have some support underneath your knees so that only the back of the heels are on the earth, that's fine too. And hands can be wherever right now. And again, feel the sensations in your body, using a sense of touch to assess how are the sensations in your body, how have they changed from being upright to now lying. And what parts of you are in contact with the earth, the ground beneath you. What's interacting with the air, atmosphere above you. Noticing your temperature, and the temperature of the room. The temperature of your skin. And now that you've been lying for a few moments, perhaps your body has signaled to you in the form of discomfort. Hi, I'm not comfortable now, and then readjust so that you are. Again, it could just be a nice little wiggle, or you recognize the need of support under the knees or even under the head if necessary. And again, a blanket if you're feeling chilled. Honor and tend to those needs. And then come back as quickly as you can to your rested position. Attune now to your breath and the location of breath. Noticing its texture and the smoothness of breath. So by smooth, I mean not chop, 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 chop as you inhale or chop, 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 chop as you exhale, but a breath that's continual and graceful on both the inhale and the exhale, and the transition from inhale to exhale and from exhale to inhale are also as smooth as possible. So for the purpose of this class, we won't be holding the breath in between inhale and exhale or retaining the breath out between exhale and inhale. It'll just be inhale right into exhale. And so for the next few rounds of breath, focus your attention on the transition between inhale and exhale and inhale. As if for the whole inhale, you're waiting for the transition so you can immediately go into your graceful exhale. In the whole exhale, you're like, okay, as it comes, I'm going to inhale right away. And see if you can make that softer, less excited, and more smooth. And as you do this, notice if there's a change in the location or a change in the depth as you're working towards a smooth breath. And if possible for you, take your arms either in a goalpost, so shoulder, elbow straight out from one another, and elbow basically at a 90-degree, but we're not being strict about it. It can be a bigger or smaller angle as is comfortable for you, or hypothetically, more of an overhead reach, but still with soft elbows and soft wrists and soft supported shoulders. So elbows and shoulders are in contact with the ground below you. And just kind of play with it a little bit. Where can I rest my arm comfortably? And if it's really an elbow that's kind of close to the side because you have a shoulder injury, that's fine. But we're wanting to have some space under the underarm here. And then begin to breathe and fill in that place of the shoulder and the upper chest and the upper back. And see, just for the next few rounds of breath, how if you can centralize the location to this upper region of the torso, where you're filling and feeling this expansion of the underarm. And then as you exhale, it kind of relaxes a bit. And as you inhale, your body almost reaches with the inhale and then relaxes with the exhale. Again, I'm not doing a very good job of demonstrating while I'm talking, but the inhale and the exhale are going right into one another. No pausing in between. And you're filling this region, and you're feeling the expansion of all of this intricate system that is up here in your upper body. And now that you've been doing that for a few rounds, it can be a soft breath. Now that you've been doing that for a few rounds, see if you can make it more subtle so that you're still filling the region of the upper chest and under the underarms and the back body, and you can feel the interaction with your breath with the floor below you. But making it a little softer, again, smoother, but just in this region of the upper body. And less of a shoulder lift and a chest push, but more all sides of you expanding together. So play around with that for a few rounds of breath. See if you can make them expand 360 degrees in a soft way. Arms still up overhead, and you're opening and relaxing this space. And then you can keep your arms there if that feels nice, or you can return them to a position that feels more comfortable. Perhaps one hand or both hands on the area that you're breathing, your hands on the chest and the heart. Soft, smooth breath, easy transitions between breathing in this region of the upper torso, the region of the lungs and the heart. Again, noticing your sense of touch. Feeling the sense of touch of breath in this area as it's interacting and touching from the inside out. And noticing temperature and air temperature. See if you can feel the temperature of your breath. Feeling the temperature of air in through the nostrils and feeling sensitively at the nose and the nostrils. And then a breath out through the nostrils and out through the nose. So now your attention is focused here at the nose, temperature, air in, temperature breath out. And as you are breathing in and out through the nose, air in, breath out. Begin to feel into the nostril and just take a journey with your breath. Noticing if you follow the air in through your nose, how far in can you feel? And then as soon as the exhale comes, let the exhale come and travel through feeling of touch back through the nose. Inhale in through the nose and exhale out through the nose. Next time you inhale, inhale in through the nose and see if you can follow your breath to the back of your throat and the back of your mouth. And as you exhale, it'll come back just the way that it came. Inhaling in through the nose and traveling down to the throat, the back of the mouth. And exhaling back the way that you came out through the nose again. Inhale to the back of the throat and breathe for a few rounds in the throat. Feeling sensitively at the throat. And at the neck where we touched before with our hands. Inhale at the throat and then exhale to your heart. And inhale to the throat once more and exhale to the heart. And let yourself take some time to get there. So not necessarily elongate the breath, but allow your awareness to be like, oh, to shift from the throat and find the heart, and then inhale back to the throat and exhale to the heart. And with your smooth breath, begin to smooth the pathway that you're taking with your breath and with your attention from throat to heart and from heart to throat again. As you exhale to the heart, hold your attention at the heart and continue to breathe in your smooth, rhythmic way. See if you can feel a sense of touch here at the heart. Feeling as you inhale and your lungs fill with air, the touch of breath in your lungs around your heart, and what it feels like as you exhale. And continue this practice of feeling sensitively in the region of the heart. Breathing so that the back body expands as well as the side bodies and the chest. So again, your whole breath is expanding around your heart in all directions. And as you exhale, it's coming closer to your heart again. And as you inhale, the breath expands 360 degrees around your heart. Again, your breath is smooth and soft. And now that we're breathing around the heart, you can breathe in a way that doesn't disturb it and embodies that softness of breath we've been cultivating throughout the practice. And feeling with their sense of touch, seeing if you can feel the sensation of your heartbeat. And how your breath interacts with your heartbeat. Noticing any subtle changes in the heartbeat as you're breathing. And then let your mind rest. Let your attention rest. So no longer focused attention, but let it soften, still in awareness around your heart and your breath and your lungs. Let your breath be passive and allow whatever natural breath tendencies you have to happen here. And we'll be in a few moments of relative silence where I will no longer be cueing you, but you'll be resting with this soft intention and awareness at the heart. And then I'll close class more formally at the end. Feel your heartbeat and your breath in your lungs around your heart. Inhale and exhale at the heart, letting your breath get a little bit bigger. Inhale to the throat, and exhale to the heart. And inhale to the throat, and continue in this way for a few rounds of breath. Noticing any thoughts that come up as information and communication from your heart to you. Inhale at the throat and exhale at the throat. And inhale to the nose and exhale to the throat. And continue in this way for a few rounds, making the connection between where you just were and where you're about to be in the nose. Inhale to the throat and exhale. Inhale to the nose and exhale out the nose and feel out the nose. Feeling in the nostrils and at the tip of the nose. And seeing if you can sense just beyond the nostril. Out into the world. resting consciously in a way that is deliberate and also subtly and really gently trains your attention to come back to yourself through your senses. You come back into touch with reality, what is real, and with yourself, while also soothing and nurturing your nervous system, and in turn all of your systems and your body functions, so that they can continue to work in healthy ways for you. Continue to rest for as long as you have available, and really gently and tenderly come up out of rest. And whenever you're practicing this, come back into awareness and hold this awareness of inner sensing and feeling deeply within your own self for as long as you can. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I'll leave the live up on Instagram and email out the Zoom playback for your continued use. If you ever want to utilize deep rest practice that is really balancing for springtime. Okay, thank you. I see you. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.